Hi, I'm Beth, and today we're talking about using value and contrast in your quilting. Northcott creates an ongoing fabric line that offers a wide range of colors to give you that great value and contrast in your quilting to really make your quilts pop. It's Stonehenge Gradations, which is the main Stonehenge line from Northcott. It's a popular group and many quilt shops carry it because it's so versatile. They're great fabrics to have on hand to add depth to your quilts. It features several colorways, each with a range of light to dark values. Gradations provide an easy way to get a mix of lights, mediums, and darks. All the work is done for you. You have the natural palettes, which are more subtle colors, and we also have the brights palettes, which are more vibrant colors. You can see that each colorway provides a really nice range of lights to darks, and I'm going to show you how that can make all the difference in your quilt designs. First, let's talk about contrast. Contrast clarifies the design and makes depth more apparent. Without contrast, your design will appear flat. So let's take a little look at this example we have here. Here we've used the Stonehenge Gradations Midnight colorway to show how using different values affects the design. We used a light, medium, and dark to illustrate this. So here are two blocks that we made using the same tones. We did the mid-tone in the middle, and then a light on this one and a dark on this one. And you can see how the contrast can really emphasize the design more in this one, where it's a little more subtle in this one, not as much contrast. We're going to take a look at some quilts that illustrate these concepts. This is such a striking quilt. The value steps in the colorway work together with the design to create an optical illusion. A hint of the lightest value in the center, surrounded by the darkest value, creates an instant focal point. The graphic diagonal lines and the color stepping from dark to light values keeps your eye moving around the quilt. The white provides a much larger contrast than if only the midnight colorway had been used. It gives it almost a dimensional appearance, like you could almost walk right into the quilt. On this quilt, only the 5 values from the Rainforest palette were used. While the value change between each of the 5 steps in the palette are subtle, when all 5 are used with each other, the contrast is quite striking. The pattern is very noticeable because the lightest value was placed next to the darkest value to highlight these blocks. The hibiscus colorway was used in this quilt, and we used all 5 steps of the value colors. So on that previous quilt with the greens, we saw subtle value contrast. Now the contrast in this one is more noticeable because we added this cream. So careful placement of the 5-step value shades from dark to light and light to dark creates a woven effect. Notice the cream only touches the medium to dark colors, so the contrast is even more noticeable. So this is the same pattern as the quilt we just saw, but this time they've added all of the brights colorways to give it a really fun rainbow effect. The light cream was used to provide even more contrast with the colors and provide a place for the eye to rest. If you're trying to bridge 2 colorways, Stonehenge mixers will do just that. Elements from several colorways are pulled together into one fabric to create a nice blender. I've got a few large fabric samples here so you can see how in this one fabric there's a combination of a few of the different colorways. You can take these mixers and use the gradations to make some interesting quilts. So let's take a look at one. 4 mixers were combined in this quilt, and placing them in a specific pattern makes for a really interesting on-point design. The darker fabrics used in the corners behind the medallion are the same as used in the center of the medallion and help to tie the project together. The contrast in value and color make the medallion look like it's floating. A small pop of color in the skinny border helps to frame the medallion, and the dark border provides a solid ground for the frame on this quilt. And the mixer fabrics add nice movement and color depth to the quilt. Thanks for joining me today on our color journey. Using value and contrast in your quilts really make them pop. For more information on the fabric lines and patterns used, visit northcott.com.